Moi drodzy, witajcie. No, mieliśmy ostatni odcinek Skibidi Toilet. Był straszny, przynajmniej dla mnie, jakiego wielkiego fana ninży. No, skończyło się to tragicznie. No, ale słuchajcie, zobaczymy analizę elity. Być może dostrzegł czegoś, czego ja nie dostrzegłem.
We really just witnessed the
Zapraszamy
craziest
się,
and the sad,
słuchajcie,
even though
lecimy.
presence doesn't
Pamiętajcie, łapkę zostawcie, to mnie zawsze pomaga. Wspierajcie,
get
dziękuję.
recorded. This also might mean that all the times any cameraman looked at the secret agent before episode 670
Dobra,
part
lecimy,
2,
słuchajcie.
which is actually a new Easter egg that Boom put in, and it's literally an egg. For some context, there is a YouTuber called Steak, and a week ago I made a video about one of the
A tutaj mówi o tym przecieku z jajkiem. No dobra, to jest mało istotne.
face making an egg toilet meme.
My
But
przejdźmy
actually,
do tego,
I
co
think we
trzeba.
can safely say that the transmission error and the recording error shows up every time the secret agent is present, so that his presence doesn't get recorded.
No właśnie, no bo jak to sam agent powiedział, że niektóre rzeczy po prostu muszą zostać w tajemnicy, tak? Także no wszędzie, gdzie było to, ale to już było przewidziane, gdzie jest recording error, no to pojawiał się sekretny agent,
This
nie?
also might mean that all
Po prostu nie mogli zobaczyć tego kamery.
the times any
I
cameraman
TV
looked at
menu.
the secret agent before episode 68 part 2 also should have had the same message, but we just didn't see it since Boom didn't put it while editing back then. Also, this time it was a lot different since Plunger Cameraman actually heard the secret agent talking. First, while the door was opening and the big
Mnie to zastanawia, jak ktoś wyciągnie to, co mówił ten sekretny agent do tego naukowca, to poznamy naprawdę prawdę, o co tam chodziło, a tutaj ciężko jest to, bo zagłuszają inne dźwięki.
laser toilet is coming out. We hear him say, "It's fine, get out." But that's not all, since Plunger Cameraman actually becomes invisible while this is happening, which is crazy, because this was actually one of Secret Agent's abilities. And this means that he can use this ability on others as well. But that's still not all. Since
No,
when
to,
Plunger
że niewidzialny został Plunger, nie?
Cameraman realizes he is invisible, he looks behind to see the dark speaker man being invisible as well. But once again, that's not all. We suddenly see a cameraman hiding behind the wall with a green flashlight, just like the green
No i
of the
ten
secret agent,
kameraman, nie?
and he
Jest
suddenly
zielony.
becomes invisible right in front of us. And he probably was the one that made us invisible. This goes deeper because do you guys remember the ghost cameraman we saw at
No
the end of
właśnie, te
episode
duchy to były prawdziwi agenci, słuchajcie, kamery menu.
70 part 1? I guess the two ghost cameramen we saw were the secret agent special cameramen. I don't know if they
No.
are a special breed of cameraman or if he has agents in other races as well. But this was a crazy reveal. While this is going on, we actually hear a couple more lines from the secret agent while the bunker duo is walking inside the scientist toilet's room, and Plunger Cameraman actually sees the secret agent talking to the scientist toilet at the last second, which will be important for us later in the analysis.
No
So
właśnie.
don't forget
Dlaczego on gadał z tym Skibidi naukowcem? Oni się znają na
about
100%.
Now let's talk about what the secret agent said to the scientist toilet. His first line was, "It is fine, get out." And after a couple seconds he says, "You are not needed" to the scientist toilet. And right after scientist toilet yaps and
Nie jesteś potrzebny, czyli widzicie, czyli tutaj, słuchajcie, no moim zdaniem to Boom wszystkim manipuluje. I Boom dał technologię tym Skibidi Toilet, tą technologię kamer i tak dalej.
secret agent tells him, "You want to
Jestem pewny, że za sojuszem stoi rząd, a Secret Agent jest tym, co chce ukryć całą
escape?
prawdę.
My little pawn will kill you." And after this he also says, "Guess I can't be trusted, goodbye," to scientist toilet, and he leaves the FaceTime with scientist toilet just like how I leave my FaceTime with TV woman, looking all rizzy. Anyways, here you go. Listen to all he said carefully.
Ja tego
Pawn
nie
is most
słyszę.
likely Plunger Cameraman, since he literally has been using him as a pawn with some outside influence, leading him all the way here. Only thing I don't understand is the "I can't be trusted" line, because why would the secret agent say that to the scientist toilet? I have no
No właśnie, nie można mi ufać, nie? Moim zdaniem sekretny agent dał technologię Skibidi Toilet.
idea. Also, we have the problem of the secret agent working with the toilets, but until now, we all thought he was working with the cameraman because of the way he gave Lucky Cameraman information, but it turns out that Lucky Cameraman actually was an insider, and he was on secret agent's side. Maybe after episode 65, he was hired or captured by the secret agent to change sides.
Przecież tutaj Elite zapomina, że przecież jak była walka TV-Mana z G-Manem, to G-Man zaatakował tego Lucky Kamerę i sekretny agent do niego podszedł i go przeprogramował pewnie, nie?
Because it sounds like the secret agent isn't necessarily helping one side, but instead he is his own side in this war.
No,
We'll talk more about this later in the video when I'm talking about the part where he is talking to Plunger Cameraman, so make sure to watch the video until the end so that you don't miss any of it. After all this, we see that the error messages are gone, and Scientist Toilet turns to us, and since the bunker duo is now visible again, the laser toilet that just went and plunged a spear on Scientist and knocked with their new upgrades and jump up, face on, and he straight, getting faster each smash, and the other Titans just watched with awe. But before we continue, did you guys notice that upgraded Titan TV man's left shoulder monitor has been broken?
No, ten monitor został zepsuty. Chyba to było podczas walki z astrotoaletami, tak mi się wydaje. Wydaje mi się, że w bonusowym odcinku dostaniemy jakby informację, co się tam wydarzyło z Tytanami i dlaczego ten telewizor jest uszkodzony. W sekretnej scenie będzie w full epizodzie, tak mi się wydaje.
We didn't see when or why this happened, but they clearly had some fights before arriving at the top of the bunker and we'll probably never know what happened. After this, they throw the scientist's body onto the ground and there is literally nothing left of his face but sadly for us. And he says, just time before his body worry TV cameraman is actually sad about what's happening and he decides to walk away. He most likely knows what's going to happen next, and I don't think he wants to see it. Even though he is on the side of the secret agent, I think we can safely assume that he cared about all of these agents and can't bear to watch it. The next seconds confirm the ghost cameramans once again because two random ghost cameramen appear out of thin air and they shake hands weirdly, as if it's their first time meeting. Maybe secret agent doesn't let any of his cameramen meet each other, then special...
No to jest dziwne, słuchajcie, nie? Że oni sobie razem ściskają ręce, tak jakby... Oni się połączyli. Może jeden agent odpowiadał za agentów tych sojuszu, a drugi za Skibidi Toilet.
It also looks like they have green suits under their coats, which makes sense with the same pattern on their ties. But it doesn't end here because their flashes suddenly start becoming bright green, and we witness the craziest moment in Skibidi Toilet lore after Plunger Cameraman gets flashbanged. Suddenly, we find ourselves in a room with the secret agent, and there is a lot to talk about before we move on to what he said, which was crazy important for the series' future. If you look carefully, we can actually see three things on the right side, and it's the heads of three agents, one cameraman, one speaker man, and one TV man. I don't know if
tu mamy tych wszystkich, nie?
he has these as souvenirs or something else, but it's awfully weird that he has these. Maybe he has been collecting parts after battles happen, but I don't even know after this episode. Also, it looks like his folder is colored green, just like everything else he has. But the real question here that people have been asking is the computer on the left.
No właśnie.
Many people
to może znaczyć, że po prostu będziemy mieli nową rasę, nie?
People are speculating that since there are three of the races heads on the right, there is a possibility that a computer race will be added on later in the series, and this is the way Boom is telling us that. Even though there is a possibility, I have no idea. We saw some other references to computers a while ago in the series as well, but to me it doesn't really make sense to have computer race when there is a TV race since they are just both monitors. But I do believe that there will be a new race later in the series one day.
Moim zdaniem jest sens dodać nową rasę. Pamiętajcie, że będą astrotoalety i trzeba kontrę na nie.
My assumption is Plunger Cameraman's recordings, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's first talk about what the secret agent said. In this moment, the secret agent says, "Well done, thanks to you, that scientist is cooked. However, a bigger threat is coming. That's why certain things have to remain secret. There is no evidence left except one thing. This battle you did not survive, Plungerman." And send him back after he says all this. But what did he mean when he said, there is no evidence left, except one
thing?
No
właśnie, nie ma żadnych dowodów. Raczej na to, że ten sekretny agent był w to zamieszany wszystko.
I think there is only one conclusion we can come to, and it's that Plunger Cameraman just knew way too much after their raid into the base. First of all, the secret agent mentioned a bigger threat, while showing the Astro toilets, which we already knew that they'd be taking over, but I'm assuming that the Alliance has no idea about this other than the Titans seeing an Astro toilet killing the upgraded DJ toilet. But Plunger Cameraman saw some files about them in the bunker room last episode. Alongside this, he was the only one left that saw the secret agent poster on the wall that day. And he also saw him once again while entering the room where the secret agent was talking to the scientist toilet. Even though this conversation didn't sound very friendly, he saw what he saw, and he was the only agent left alive that knew anything about the secret agent and the Astro toilets
No właśnie, no musiał zginąć, bo wiedział za dużo, nie?
file. So we can clearly say that the secret agent wants to remain in the shadows while controlling the war from the sidelines. We still don't know his motives. Only thing we know is that he has his own goals and helps both sides depending on his own needs. One thing that was weird is that, even though he had a head from each race, he didn't have any toilets in his room. Maybe that's a sign that he is closer to the toilet side, which only time will tell. After Plunger Cameraman comes back to reality, suddenly all his body starts malfunctioning and TV Woman hugs Cameraman Woman with a worried, sad face. I would have made it also since tomorrow is the Valentine's Day.
Moim zdaniem, słuchajcie, Kameraman Ninja i Dark Speakerman wrócą. Zostaną naprawieni. Myślę, że jest to możliwe, tylko że stracą pamięć. Słuchajcie. Jestem pewien, że tak będzie i potem w przyszłości jakby udowodnią oni, że to sekretny agent jakby stoi za tym wszystkim. Ale to są moje tylko teorie.